Okay, guys, sorry. I just did this video, and then once again, it was just an Uncle Muscles rant special, and I'm not gonna delete that content. There's no reason to delete that content. That's the best content. It's the best content. Everybody loves that content. Everybody loves that content. It's their favorite. It is their favorite. But I am gonna go through this motherboard. This is the ZX-99EV3 V1.31 DDR4. There's also a DDR3 version of this. These manufacturers in China get crazy. Now, the first video I did on this, I was like, man, I really hope this works. The second video I didn't record till 2 months later or 3 months later at this point. I'm not really even sure because it did not work. And then I realized, wait, no, you're a dummy. Go look at the diagram. It does work. And then I was able to turn on the motherboard. It took a little bit of configuration on it because I had to switch it over from PCIe over to the NVMe slot, but that ended up working, so good for me. My computer turns on, and that is fantastic. Now, I'm just going to go through quickly what you can expect in the BIOS. There's more features than I realized. In main, it tells you what your motherboard does. It says BIOS vendor American Megatrends. I'm very curious to find out whether or not American Megatrends really actually is the distributor of this BIOS. I wonder if I can contact them and be like, hey, can you explain this to me? Because that'd be fantastic. If anybody also in the comments below wants to give me feedback on how to properly overclock my CPU with this BIOS configuration, I would be more than happy to experiment with you and then also put up another video on this. Obviously, no one's really going to be interested in this. This is such a legacy type of chipset at this point. No one's really using X99. But I am curious. This has more features than I realized, so I'm going to show you what those features are, and if you guys can give me feedback on them, I would love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, let's go. So this is the main. System date, system time, blah, 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 blah. No one cares about that. System language, what happens if I change it to? Okay. In advanced settings. Cool. ACPI settings, auto configuration, BIOS ACPI. If you want, you can enable that. Sleep state. I don't have a sleep button. I don't know if any of this really matters for my current thing, but this is what the ACPI settings look like. If you want, you can. Okay, the only thing is disable or enable on that. Okay, cool. That's on for now. So we'll just get out of that. ACPI sleep settings. NCT 5532B Super IO configuration. Serial port. Okay, it's enabled. Cool. We'll just leave that. Doesn't really matter. It's fine. Hardware monitor. Cool. This actually tells you a little bit about your computer. Smart fan function enabled. Okay, I actually don't want smart fan enabled. There's no left or right, right? Okay, I'd actually like to be able to just be like, hey, put it on high. I think I did that though. Enable, disable. Let's just go back to the fans here. Enable, disable. There are 2 system fans connected. Now, it didn't change. It says 1040 RPM. I don't know if that can increase or not. I have a bunch of other fans in there too that are connected to like a SATA power thing. Like a breakout for fans. PCI subsystem. VJ palette snoop. I don't know what that is. Above 4G decoding. No, don't know what that is. Enables system 64-bit capable devices to be decoded in above 4G address space. Only if subsystem reports 64-bit PCI decoding. I don't know. I don't know. We'll leave it disabled. I'm really going to leave most of these settings disabled. I've only changed one setting so far. I did it in the last video. I'll show you which one that is in a second. Something to do with power. I changed it from like performance to power, but I don't think it really matters. I think it's something that Windows takes care of. Relaxed ordering, extended tag, no steep, maximum payload. I don't know what this does. PCI Express link, register settings, warning, enable ASPM may cause some PCIe devices to fail. Okay, cool. Well, I don't have it enabled, and it's disabled, so great, cool. That's there, though, so if you want to enable disable it, that's what that looks like. Congratulations. Here. Yeah, I don't know any SR IOV support. What is that? What is that? Single root IO virtualization support. Oh, so I guess some type of virtualization feature. I'm not sure. Why would that be in the PCI bus driver version? Maybe that's to do with virtualization of stuff connected to the PCIe. That would kind of make sense. That's there. if you need to, which probably people might need to do if you're running X99, but not like the major, like the personal computing, like the server stuff. It's possible. If you need this as a like a backup, it might work. A relaxed order. Oh, this is what we're at. Okay. PCI Express Gen 2 settings. Now, I'm assuming this is Gen 3, but whatever. Completion timeout. The default disable. Everything's disabled. Those exist. ARI forwarding, atomic op requester enable or blocking, IDO request enable, IDO completion enable, LTR. I don't know what these are. 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 They're there. If you need these, they're there. I don't know what these are. Okay, we're gonna hit escape. I don't know what a lot of these things do, but I just want to show people that they do exist. And also, the first time I booted this, I don't think a lot of this stuff showed up. So you might want to make sure that might want to make sure that you actually have a hard drive connected for a lot of these things to show up. I think that's part of it. Now it comes disabled with a network stack, so you can boot this motherboard from a network, or you can do some other. You can connect to the network if you want to. I have it disabled for now. I'm gonna leave it disabled for now. It came disabled, but we could if we want. I think for my own personal security and the purpose of this video, I'm gonna leave it disabled. CSM configuration enabled. Hey, I don't know. Oh, compatibility support module. I don't know what that is. I think that's something extra you can add to it, right? A little piece, a little chip. I don't know what that is, but it's there if you need it. Good, congratulations. NVMe configuration. On the board, you're going to have to actually change your pinout. There's like a couple jumpers. There's 4 jumper pieces you'll have to change from position 1.2 to position 2.3. I had to do that in 4 different jumpers to make this motherboard work. And once I did that, my NVMe worked, and then I don't know if it's SATA or NVMe. It says NVMe in the bus, or sorry, in the BIOS, but on the motherboard itself, it does say SATA, so I don't know. I don't know what the speed is. I have to double check that. I didn't look yet. I just know that that's what happens. And there's the stuff. So cool. That's cool. That's what that looks like. Legacy USB stuff, USB hardware delays and timeouts. Okay, cool. If you need that. Okay, so now this was the main menu. I wasn't really sure if they existed or not, but it does. This is where you can overclock. And I haven't really messed with this yet because I'm very worried about overclocking, and I don't know what a lot of these features do, to be honest. It's not like auto, oh, change the multiplier from 31 to 32, and now you overclocked, oh, we get like 1,000 more FPS. It's not like that. And I'm unskilled, so we're just gonna pretty much leave it the way it is per socket configuration. What? This motherboard BIOS has the options for multiple sockets. It just only has one socket as far as I'm concerned, as far as I understand. Wow, cool though. Per socket configuration. What? Cool. Anyway, whatever. Weird. Hyperthreading, that's enabled. That's good. CPU BIST control or BIST result, that's disabled. Most of this stuff comes PPIN control unlocked. And this is what it looks like in here. DCU mode, 32-bit 8-way without ECC. Direct cache access, auto. There's a lot of these interesting things in here. Targeted SMI disabled, SSM save state disabled. A lot of these things I probably could end up enabling if I want. But I'm just going to leave it for now because I don't want my computer to start bugging out. But like I said in the other video, if anybody has any recommendations for what I'm supposed to do, some of these features, it'd be fantastic because I really don't have a good understanding of a lot of these features. It's much easier for me when it says, I'm not like a super overclock guy. I understand it on a very, very basic. I probably understand it a little better than I've done, but not that much better. So that's it. And I haven't done much. So that's pretty much it. So that's what I'm saying. If anybody has any very, very interesting feedback that I should be looking into, I'd be very curious. That's the processor configuration, advanced power management. And so this is where I think this is what I changed. Power configuration custom at config TDP. I don't want to. I'm very state control enable, HWPM control, autonomous C state. So this is what I was talking about in the other video. There's a lot of energy performance stuff that normally you just kind of keep online for other or you just like leave it on for other computers. And this is where I changed the energy performance streaming. It's disabled, but when you have it on disabled, that means you can actually put it on power. So I think this means disabled for Windows. If you put it on enable, it'll make it so Windows decides. But if you put it on disabled, the motherboard decides, which, whatever, it's fine. It's like overriding those settings, which is okay, I guess. So this is pretty much the only setting I've actually changed. Socket RAPL. I don't know what this does, but that's where it is. Turbo power limit lock disabled. Long power limit override enable. 01. I don't know what that does, but that's there. DRAM RAPL configuration. I also don't know if my RAM is working in quad channel or dual channel. This is something I was very curious about from the beginning, and there was no explicit memory. We're going to find that out, I guess, in a second. Common ref code configuration. I don't know what any of that does, but if you want, that's what it looks like. QPI configuration, general configuration, QPI socket configuration. I don't know what any of this stuff does. If you know what it does and you're curious about, hey, you should change this for my personal setup, I'm very interested in what you have to offer. QPI per socket configuration, CPU 0. So I think this BIOS works for like multi-socketed motherboards, and it's just like a general BIOS. I'm assuming that there are a lot of like X99 multi-socketed motherboards out there, or at least that this would kind of replace, or like a manufacturer like this would have a motherboard that can replace one of those. And this is the same BIOS for that, essentially. It doesn't work here, so I don't have to worry about it. Or maybe I should work. I don't know. I don't know the answer here, but there's more features on this motherboard, I think, than are applicable to my setup. Let's just put it like that. I'm not sure. IO configuration. I don't know what any of this stuff does. Hot plugging your PCIe. Okay, if you want, you can enable that, so that's cool. Okay. I guess if you have like Intel VT for directed IO. Okay, so this is virtualization. I don't know what VCP optimizations are. So the virtualization technology is enabled by default. I did not touch that, but that exists. That's in there. That's cool. That's pretty much it for this one, right? Cool. Okay, PCH configuration. PCH devices. DeepSX. I don't know what that is. DeepSX power policy is disabled. I don't know what any of this stuff is. I've never seen serial IRQ mode. Is RC remote control? Is that what that's supposed to be? Intel RC setup? Aptio setup utility. Okay, so apt.io setup utility. I have to go Google. We're going to have to Google. I didn't realize this, but apt.io setup utility, there might be a full featured manual on that. So we'll have to go look at that. Now, this is the most interesting thing. When I first booted the motherboard, I didn't notice this option. So I was assuming that it's not available. Seems like it is. So overclocking. You can enable overclocking. I don't know if I want to, but it can. Do you type in here? Oh my god. Here, I don't want to, maximum overclock ratio for the CPU core uses mailbox MSR 0x150 CMD 0x10 0x11 range 0 through 80. I think this is auto. This might be the auto feature. I don't know. I guess I'm at like 36 currently. So if I put it up to 40, I'd be interested in what happens. But like, I don't really care that much. I don't really use my computer again. So I'm really not super interested in overclock. Oh, wait. Max overclock ratio. No. CLR domain uses. This is the same thing I just. Is this the same thing? Turbo voltage. Min ratio 12. Max ratio 0. Voltage mode override, turbo voltage, offset prefix. Oh my god. I don't know what any of this stuff does for the most part. And like I said, I'm not really good at overclocking. I really can't lie. I can basic overclock. I can overclock a little bit with memory, but I feel like I don't do enough in this realm, and I should know more about it, and I really don't. Like Gamer I'll watch like 4-hour video of Gamer Nexus like overclocking stuff with LN2 and have no idea what anything that's going on. Okay, I mean, these are the overclocking options. If anybody wants to recommend some stuff for me, man, I'd love it. This is a 80 or 6850K. The max I've gotten out of it is 4.4 on 1.21 voltage. So it's like, if you can figure out a way that I can do something similar along those lines and my computer boots and doesn't crash, I'd love it. Because these processors do not overclock very well. Honestly, and I just don't really care that much also at this point, because I just want my computer to run. I'm interested in it running. Okay, so Encore SVID F5er. I don't know what any of this stuff really does, and I'm kind of worried, like I said, so we're just going to disable it for now. And I apologize, it's anticlimactic, but it is what it is. And those are these features exist, and this is the main part of the video I think you're going to be interested in. After that, that's it. If anybody, like I said, if anybody wants to give me feedback in the comments below, please let me know what I need to be doing. Security, that's cool. Admin password, boot. Great. Great. Like I said, it does say like boot option. That's good. That's correct. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's doing. Samsung SSD 960. SATA PO P45. Interesting. I think it's just a SATA port. I can't tell. I really can't tell. Because it says P1. PO is a SATA, right? And then P1 is the Samsung. But then P2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think are all just SATA ports. I don't know if this is running NVMe speeds or not. I'll have to check that on Windows. That's it, guys. I hope this helps. This isn't super informative. I just wanted to walk through the motherboard. My first recommendation was like, no, this is bad. And now the more deeply I go into this, I'm kind of happy I purchased this. My motherboard was going to break eventually, the Gigabyte one. I talked about it extensively in the other video I tried to record for the BIOS, but like, this saved me, man. This saved me. I feel almost, I feel kind of bad that I tried to return this and then they just gave me a refund because I couldn't get it to boot for like essentially 2.5 months or whatever it is. But we're here. We're here. My computer's back. So I needed to record these videos. If you appreciate the content, don't forget to hit the like button. Appreciate the subs. Check me out, twitch.tv/unclemusclez. I really do appreciate the support. And really, guys, any feedback here? I need help overclocking this just a little bit. I don't want to get too spicy with it. I really don't. But if you can help me optimize, or at least let me know what I should do here, I wouldn't mind it. in fact, even if you know what's up and you want to hit me up in Discord or something, you're like, hey man, we can do this. You could even record it, because technically I could, and you that way you'd be able to see what I'm doing. I'd be interested in that, to be honest. I wouldn't mind kind of experimenting a little bit and seeing what's going on. My main priority is don't do any of that though, because like I said, my computer, I'd rather my computer work than anything at this point. But if anybody's like, hey man, this is weird and I want to help you for no reasons other than this would be just kind of fun, hit me up. I'm curious. I'm curious. Just for fun. If you blow up my computer, it's fine. Just don't do it on purpose. But I don't know about this motherboard. And like, if we can help, you know, other people probably don't know what to do. Right now, computer prices are tumbling, right, to the ground. And there's a lot of, if you want to reduce e-waste or whatever, there's a lot of old X99 stuff out there. A lot of this stuff is being used for Bitcoin mining. If you want a cheap gaming computer, man, there's an option here. I mean, like, I got a motherboard for like $100. Probably get one for about 50 or so if you're finding good deals or whatever. Or if you're just trying to find a streaming computer, man, this is a great option. I mean, these CPUs, like X99 CPUs, the chipset, the Xeon E4V, whatever the hell, 2366, or whatever, I don't even know what they're called. They're good processors for streaming specifically. So my plan, like I said, is I would like to get another CPU at some point if I'm gonna upgrade this computer, and just make this a really, really powerful streaming computer. And if I could run it on very slow or ultra slow or whatever on my like preset, that'd be fantastic. So I can have a really high quality stream. I'd love that. If I could be able to record my stream at like very, very high quality and also record VODs at the same time and have them both, like, that would be fantastic. That would be the plan. I just don't know if I'll ever get there at this point. I'm kind of out of investing in my stream. I've been doing this shit for a long time, man. And like I said, I do appreciate all the support. Sorry I'm rambling here, but that's what you get, baby. It would not be an Uncle Muscle stream without an Uncle Muscle ramble. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. You know this. Hit me up if you have any questions. I do appreciate the support. Love you guys. I'm out of here. Bye now. Thanks. See you guys.